Hey there and happy Tuesday. So how many of you feel like today's kind of technically Monday, you know, after the long weekend, feels like Monday, and usually Mondays are my best day. I have the most energy and such like that. So I thought I'm going to tackle some harder projects today. Yes, projects. I think today in this video, I have things laid out. That's why I'm a little bit late. I decided last minute to do similar looking cards, and it'll make sense here in a little bit once I get going. Kind of fun shadow box cards. And so I thought, you know what, let's tackle that today on the first day of the week, where it's still Tuesday though. Let's just go with that. So let me get the camera turned around. I hope you guys had a fantastic extra long weekend with Memorial Day. We had our family over for kind of a grill picnic lunch type thing. It was good to have all the kids here, and this is my reminder that, like, as I craft and things, just to go like, okay, if you see on my ruler here, it says Darby in kind of that cute little elementary handwriting. It's my son's 31st birthday today. And yeah, just a special place that the firstborns have in a mother's heart too. Like, they're all special for different ways, but there's nothing quite like that. And as I was cleaning off my desktop to come do this video, I'm like, oh gosh, there's just those sweet things that, why go buy a ruler when you can snag this when he's done using it, probably 5th grade, right? You guys might get a chuckle out of that. Maybe you guys do the same thing. I don't know. So let me get started with showing you these cards. Like I said, 2 different projects, and so hopefully I have all the supplies needed for that, and then I will post them as still shots separately also, so that you can see exactly like what had what with it for supplies. The supplies are very super similar, but I don't want to confuse anybody if you use the shopping links that I post with my still shots and place an order and then end up with something you didn't want. So I will post those separately as well. But each still shot will have just the same YouTube link, because after 30 days, remember, Facebook Lives get deleted automatically by Facebook. Okay, so in the new catalog here, pages 26, 27, you can see, yeah, it's just those 2 pages, the beautiful Scenic Coast. Did I initially like it? Probably. I can't even remember, but that just kind of went right out the window, and I didn't even think about it anymore when Julie Salva did an amazing presentation. She is my jam, you guys. Sometimes at these Stampin' Up events, like, you just haven't even met the person. Now we're Facebook friends, and I can't wait to see her again. And she just has humor galore. We loved her presentation for her creativity. Our sides and cheeks hurt after she was done presenting, because she is just so down to earth, and every crafting experience is just a comedic thing, and it's so realistic of what happens when we try and create things. So we all enjoyed her sense of humor with that as well. Hello there, Kim. Thanks for joining in. I think I'm actually going to start crafting this card just because I have less of it prepared. And then if you're joining in, you can kind of see, because I think it wasn't a hard card to make, but just for people to wrap their head around it. So I think if I can start on purpose, like with the base, just grabbing the cardstock and going with it, I think it'll be a lot easier. And I hope you guys go, gosh, this is fun, and think, as always, outside of the box of how can I make this again and again with my supplies, or yeah, just making it different with the cardstock colors, different pretty papers and such. So I'm just going to take some Secret C cardstock, and I cut it in half the long way. So 8.5 by 11 is now still 11, but only 4 1/4. And then let me grab my trimmer. I'm going to cut that down again in half. So if you have a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, you can make 2 cards with that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and score at the 1/2 inch and inch on this. And I was so glad that, like, we don't take videos during presentations at Stampin' Up! Things, but I was so glad that I took lots of pictures just to really help me with this too. So that's going to be eventually the top. Hello there, Sherry. And then I'm going to do this with the bottom as well. So this is going to be a little bit longer. I try and keep my videos short. Short but informative. And this one, just because I'm starting kind of from scratch, I think you'll be glad I did, though, especially if you want to copy the card, to see kind of how it starts, how it goes, and such. So 1/2 inch and inch on both sides, and both top and bottom. All right, so for this one, from the Scenic Coast, or Sunset Coast bundle, the Scenic Coast is the name of the whole suite collection, and the bundle is Sunset Coast. Just gorgeous, everything about it, you guys. So I'm just going to, hopefully if you're just joining in, to can see the card that I'm trying to replicate here. Now I still can see my score line, so I'm just going to take and pop this lighthouse with some rocks there. I'm just going to pop that up so there's a little bit on the top and more on the bottom. And let me get a top plate to go over that. We're going to cut that out. I'm actually going to go both ways. It's not that it's super intricate, but hopefully we can get rid of some more pieces and have that pop out just like that. We'll see. Most of that did pop out. Okay, I'm just going to go back in and just take my pick tool and just kind of pick and poke those extra little pieces out. So much easier to do that now while I'm thinking about it, and now before I have something else underneath it too. Okay, have that like so. All right, now I'm just going to take from the top and fold down, and then flip up and flip up. And then I'm going to take my bone folder here, you guys, and give it a good fold. I do this slowly because the last thing you want to do is do it fast, accidentally hook something that you've die cut there, and have it ripped or torn out and have to start all over, right? Okay, I'm kind of heavy-handed, so sometimes that happens. Now on the back side, we don't have to worry, there's no die cuts, but still just fold down and then fold back up and do that like this, like so, and then this is going to be ready. So it kind of forms a nice little tray here, and in the tray, because this is laying down and you can see it kind of now has a lip to it like a little bird. Okay, now with this, we're going to take some of this awesome paper, and I think I've done a card with this before, so I'm not going to go through all of the pieces, but just if I haven't, it's awesome. So I need a 3 1/4 by 4 inch piece of this. So I think I'm just going to do the let's see, I'm going to do the 4 inch first, and then I'm going to do, whoops, the 3 1/4 like so. Oops, there we go. And this is going to be now what gets put in that tray. So I'm just going to grab my adhesive here and do this. And then this gets put in the tray here. And it's going to leave that 1/4 inch. You guys know me, I do a lot with leaving a 1/4 inch kind of matting or framing along there. So that's going to just sit in there like so. Now this is where the magic happens. You can take your liquid glue, like the green glue, your regular adhesive. Sometimes I even like to break out, oh gosh, now I see that red showing, so I don't even know if I have enough to do that card. Sometimes I like to break out my Seal Plus. It's a little bit stronger. And the thing is, though, you have to be really careful because once it is pressed together, it likes to stay together. If you try and maneuver it apart, it could tear. So now you can see where this and this go together. And I'm just going to be really careful, almost kind of flattening it back out from the fold, just so I can give it a good press. My pie makers out there are probably thinking, oh yeah, I can do that. It's just like, you know, pinching the pie crust together and such. I do make pies every once in a while, usually this season with fresh strawberries after we go picking, but I'm not saying mine look professional. Okay, that actually punched together pretty well. So the goal here is, because we are starting with the initial measurements being 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, that is exactly what fit in our Stampin' Up! Envelopes and the size of cards that we normally make. So you can have this flat, put it in your envelope, and you can see that mailing, that's going to be a breeze, but when the recipient gets it, then they can squish the sides and it's going to look like a shadow box. You know, it's probably not going to be as cool maybe when I do the still shots, because, you know, 3D is always best viewed in person. All right, now let's just do a little bit more decorating. So for this, I'm just going to do, let's do congratulations here. I'm going to bring out some Secret C, and just on this little strip of basic white, put that on there. And then I should measure how long it is too. 3 1/4. Okay, I just want to make sure that wasn't too much. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of tape. And then this orange is also 3 1/4. Can't be. Because look at that. Okay, so the orange, which is Timid Tiger, is 3 1/2, and it's about 3/4 inches wide there too. I made kind of a narrow matting just because the words are kind of small. I wanted to make sure that it didn't look too big and bulky. And no pop-ups or anything, that's just going to be put across there like so. And now if you're thinking, well, what if I want to write something or have a message? Never fear. Here it is. The adventure continues. Congratulations, the adventure continues. This could actually be kind of like a fun graduation card or something like that. And then I'm just going to take, as part of that stamp set, all of these stamps are part of Sunset Coast, just stamp off. These are my notes that I use for packing for my class there, just happen to be there. I'm just going to stamp off so we have a little bit of a lighter look there to that. And now this can go on the back side. So some of you might even be thinking, perfect, I just want to sign my name. I don't want to have a lot of space to make it look like I don't want to write something. You can just sign that, or write tiny if you want to write more. So we have that there like so. And then of course we need to decorate it. Also part of the suite is let's see, let's go with some, yeah, there's enough of the oranges. That's what I want to go with on this one anyway. These are the Sunset Sparkle Sequins, and these are just perfect for this. I'm going to take kind of one of the brighter orange because I'm putting it next to the Timid Tiger here, and then a smaller of kind of almost like a Cajun Craze look. I'm going to take that and then come back at the top with kind of the Cajun Craze, a large one there, but just kind of add the sparkle sequins, which that's exactly what they do. They're sequins that sparkle, and the colors match that perfect. So that is how that comes together. Now I'm going to kind of switch gears, but not too much, and make another card with the same almost identical products, but as promised, because that's what I promised, having a few of the steps done, but I want the orientation to go this way. So if you have pretty paper and it goes the other way, you might go, okay, that's what I need help with. So in that same bundle, Sunset Coast bundle, now I just ran this through ahead of time, the fun little sailboat here. When I lived in Holland as a foreign exchange student, my sister's favorite thing was to go sailing, and so was my dad. So sailboats are kind of like dear to my heart, and my sister hasn't sailed for a while. And over the weekend, I saw pictures on Facebook. There she was in Holland, and she went sailing. Oh, shoot, now this just, that just fell off. So that doesn't help me. So I was going to show you there. These are a little bit different measurements, but I think I should still be able to show you. So this is 3/8 and 3/4. And then because I often do 2 pieces at a time, then when it's over here at the 8 1/2 is where it will end up. Then we're at looks like about 8 1/8 maybe, and then definitely 7 3/4 here, I think. Yeah, so that will help you with that. There again, out of one 8.5 by 11-inch piece of cardstock, you can get 2 full cards, no scraps. All right, same thing here, bend down. And I had to be a little bit more careful just because of the orientation, made this narrower, so it kind of does cut into the die cut. So fold down, press it in, and fold up. But bear with me because this one's gonna come together easily, just like the last one did, but I have so many more of the pieces done on this one, so that'll help. And then on here, fold down and up. And then fold down and up. And bone folders for this are just Queen Supreme, because you can like tuck your fingers in there and you can see it looks, you know, warped or whatever. But once you pull out the bone folder to really smooth it out, it's pretty cool. And I will say, when I was getting these ready for class, I think my youngest was home, and he's like, wow, Mom. And even my oldest today, he didn't get one of these cards, but he went, wow, these are getting pretty fancy, or something to that effect. And I thought, oh, yay, he noticed. Like, I just feel like Stampin' Up's products have evolved, even maybe more than I have. I hope I improve as I go along too. But yeah, it makes a difference when you have all the best products, right? Okay, so for this, I cut this piece. Oh, it wanted to scoot a little over there. I don't think it's terrible. So this piece I cut 5 1/4 by 2.75. Once again, still out of that 6x6 paper called Scenic Coast 6x6 Designer Series paper. Even the back sides are just really fun. If you look in your catalog, you might see like the Secret Sea with kind of a modeled look, and that's just the back side that they did. Some people have asked like what technique is done for that, and it's just the paper. Now this one, when I wanted to put together my sample, I pulled out my Stampin' Seal Plus, but these are a little bit narrower measurements. And so what happens, I don't know if the camera will catch it, I have kind of like this stuff that I need to just pick off, or take like a little eraser and have the friction pull that off, because it's a thicker type of adhesive. So it doesn't, like, I like to bend over my adhesive if it gets over the sides. It's a little bit more complicated to do that with the Seal Plus, just because it's thicker adhesive, kind of has a little bit of a like cross patch pattern to it. Okay, so this I'm just going to squeeze together there the same way, and I hope you guys go, gosh, you know, that does look like something I could do now that I have the pattern, you know, because like anything, if you have the pattern, and thanks to Julie Salva, when she demoed this at Long Beach, California, I got the pattern, and then everybody's happy, right? And then with that, where was I going? The pattern, the supply list. You know, it's amazing when I print out, which I need to get that to you guys. When I have a supply list, it's usually pretty long. Like, I'm just going to show you length. Don't look at the words here, because this is the wrong supply list. That's for a different card. But kind of look at the length here, and then I'll hold this one for a longer time, because this is all that is needed for supplies for this card, because it is just so simple. I didn't even use dimensionals or like mini glue dots or anything like that. So that is the supply list. And people were just like, yeah, simple but fun for something different. Now let's take a little 1/2-inch scrap here of basic white. And I'm going to do Happy Anniversary on this one. Oops, shoot. Nope. I think I'm going to do a different one, because I want to have the coordinating colors. This one says Happy Retirement. So I'm going to put Happy Retirement and put that. And this is going to be the balmy blue, because I was switching gears. And for that, this is in length 2.75, and then also 1/2-inch, but 3 1/4 is Secret Sea. So I'm just going to put this on here, and it's just going to kind of nest on top and kind of just set within that piece. And I'm just going to put some more adhesive on here like so, and this is going to go across this like that. And so even when this is popped out, you can see how those edges there go, oops, over top like that. So I didn't put any adhesive on the very edges so that it kind of just fills like that. Okay. And before I put on the embellishments, I did have one extra step that we did for this one just because it just had more space here to fill in because of orientation. So I'm going to bring this over and show you another one of the dies that is part of the Sunset Coast. And actually, let me just scrape off of that from doing my first card so that we don't have any of those cardstock bumps in there. And with Secret C, I'm going to see this. I put adhesive sheets on the back side, and I'm going to see, here's the birds. If I have, yes, I think I have just like the perfect spot right there in the middle. So like I was almost going to throw it away, and I'm like, I think one more set for one more card could fit in there. And if I didn't do it in today's demo, I would probably just lose that piece, and then I'd end up throwing it away too. So with one die cut or run through of it, then it gets these three birds here, and because of the sticker backing, then I can just take my take your pick tool and just lift that sticker off. I'm gonna have this one on there like so. Okay, and then the next middle size. Sometimes too, with your take your pick tool, kind of that sticky part, sometimes I have good luck with that, but sometimes it also wants to wrinkle up my bird. So it could be personal preference that way as well. Oops. Gonna put that one on there, flying like that. And then we just kind of have the smallest little bird here. Gonna pick that paper off. And if you don't yet have a take your pick tool, I love mine, have two of them. That's how often I use mine. Love having it. Even taking like the tip of your scissor to kind of pick away at that with the tip of your scissor, that would work as well too. So let's get those the sparkle sequins back again, and I'm just going to put a couple of these on here, kind of the whitish pinkish ones, because I think that really matches with that. And then gonna do a large and a small. This is from kind of the bluer side too. So large, small, and then we've got those birds, and I feel like it just fills that whole front on there really well. And then for the back side, I cut 5 1/4 by 2.75. And here again, for my card, I did the balmy blue, and you can see that it's lighter, but because I have that inked up and it still coordinates with the colors, I think I'm just gonna go right back. It wasn't my intention to go back with those same stamps, stamp off, and then have this be Secret C, like so. Right. I feel like my magnetic pad is kind of shedding, so I have these little flakes of weird stuff on my project all of a sudden today. Some days it just happens, and then the next day it'll be fine, but that is what I'm trying to blow off. If you see that or wonder, like, what is it? Is it her pretty paper that she's using? No, it's just my machine. All right, so once again, it allows you to put your sentiment or greeting on the card. Just going to press that down. I don't want to smear it just in case it's wet. It allows you to put something on the card for a greeting or sentiment. And like I said, so when you push that together, kind of has a shadow box look here. And then too, it can mail flat to put in your envelope that way too. So really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to make it as fast as I could, but as thorough as I could with directions, and also want to give credit to Julie Salva, just because I was just so impressed with her demonstration. And I also say that I have to show you guys these types of samples, because so often when I go to Stampin' Up! Events and get there or come back or whatever, you guys are like, you have to show me what, whoops, hold on. So a message came through on my screen. I couldn't see what was going on. Just when I go to events, a lot of times you guys will say, oh, I hope you share what you learned, or I hope you let us know, you know, what they did and different things like that. So this is like firsthand me showing you what they did and what we got to see when we're there, because sometimes I think you might think, oh gosh, it's over the top stuff because we're demonstrators in that. And I thought this was kind of over the top, but still fun and doable. So that's why I wanted to share that with you guys. So thank you, Sherry. I thought it was amazing too. I don't feel like I'm tooting my horn when I'm just copying somebody else's thing. And just to have this project at events has been fun, because I think people see it, they get a little nervous, and then once they've done it, think, I did that. And I love that. That is like total, like a heart filler for me, to have people have success with their projects as well. So that's all I have for you guys today. Take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.